Hi, thank you so much, first of all, for all of your prayers. Thank you for loving Monty and being such a big part of his life as well. This video was not easy to film. It wasn't easy to make. And likewise, I know it's not going to be easy to watch for many of you because, we all loved Monty. To me, he was a best friend. And I think, he just brought so many laughs to people. I do plan on remembering him through those moments of laughter that he brought to us and shared with the world as well. Those moments of friendship that he shared with us and to all of you.
Hey, well, that was you're too fast. You're too quick.
And, this video, I felt compelled to make it. It's been a feeling on my heart that Monty loved you too, and he would have wanted me to let you know what happened to him, because I think that, we were all praying for him. We were all rooting for him. Sadly, he passed in his sleep.
What happened to Monty?
He just passed peacefully in his sleep.
But one friend on Twitter said that that's actually a blessing that he passed in his sleep. And, I kind of agree with that, he died in his sleep. Anyways, I'm working on his legacy right now. I'll bring you guys along with me on that journey. And I will be sharing all of his moments of joy and laughter with the world, of which he brought so much to. Thank you so much, my friends. And from Monty's family to yours, and especially from Monty, we love you so much.
My sweet, sweet Monty passed away at what I believe to be 1:36 a.m. We got the notification that he passed at 3:30. My Lord, take him in your hands. Come here, sweet pea. And Micah wanted me to tell you as well that she has been so supportive. She misses Monty too. When I came down for the news, they came to me, they cuddled on me. Animals are amazing, you guys. They are just the best souls in the world. A few things happened that I would be remiss if I didn't mention. I've had him for almost 14 years. And he was my first love, but he was there when I got married. He was there when I had my first son. And he was there to have my second son. He saw the family from start to finish, and my older son is 3.5, and he loves Monty so much. He loves Monty so much, and Monty loves him too. Monty was such a great family cat. Monty did a lot as well when I brought Micah and Junior, my 2 fosters that I have now, that have become part of the family too. Monty taught Junior everything he knows. We jokingly say that Junior is his apprentice. At 1:36 a.m. last night, I woke up and I had this I wasn't dreaming because I hadn't really been sleeping, but I just kind of this thought hit me hard, and it was my son asking, where did Monty go? And that I just started writing exactly what the thoughts were that were coming to my head. Things don't make sense. It's para, but it's a bit pseudo-science, right? But I'm telling you, I believe that Monty passed away in his sleep at 1:36 a.m. And that's when I had that thought. And Monty, one more thing I wanted to say. I went to see him at the vet yesterday, and we were trying our best to figure out okay, well, it's not this, could it be this, and ruling out stuff because we're wanting to treat him. But at one point he just looked so bad, you guys. And I was like, Monty, I just came, eye level with him, and I was like head bonking him and kissing him. And I told him, Monty, hang on, buddy. You have so many people that love you. You have still so much, joy. And then I also just got this feeling, and I just said, but Monty, if you're hanging on because of us, like, I want you to know that you've been the best cat and the best friend and my first love. And you've been the best cat, not just to me, but the whole world. So many people love you. You've brought so much joy to this world. If you're in so much pain and you're just hanging on because of us, like, know that it's okay to let go and that you have brought us the best life ever. You've been the best cat. But Monty, if you're not ready to go, don't go, because we still have so much love to give you. And so I believe that Monty felt it was okay to let go. You guys, he wasn't doing well in the end. I started noticing him, like, drinking water, excess water, urinating huge urine puddles, and getting him checked out, only to learn that he had diabetes. It just wasn't getting controlled. Like, we were giving the glucose, it just wasn't able to get controlled, like what was going on. So then they started thinking it might be insulin resistance. But then, you guys, one morning, I just, I had this feeling. I went down. I had this feeling. Earlier this week, like, I went down and I saw Monty just kind of up against the water heater, probably trying to get warm, meowing but not doing well. And me trying to get him into the emergency vet hospital, they were like, we're at full capacity. I was like, what am I going to do? I need to give him insulin. Like, I could just tell he was crashing. And then he wouldn't eat. He would drink a little, but he wouldn't eat. I was calling the vet, and they're like, you can't give insulin without him eating. He might have, like, a seizure. So I was like, I found a hospital that would take him. We drove out and got him to the hospital. We got him to the hospital, and he stayed there. Then it turned out that it was like he's having kidney failure, and they're working on flushing out the kidneys because he's getting ketoacidosis. And the prognosis was good, but then it wasn't working. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, okay. And then, like, he was responding to the insulin, but then he wasn't. It started getting, like, off the charts. They couldn't read it. It was more than 700. And then they'd get it down a little bit, but it was just like a roller coaster. Like, one moment it's like, all right, this is working, and then it wouldn't. And then it was working, and then it wouldn't. And then they wanted to do an ultrasound because they said his white blood cell count was very high, like 45,000. It shouldn't be more than 20. And so they suspect cancer. I was like, if it's cancer, I don't want to know. And they're like, we really need to do the ultrasound because, like, they needed that data. Well, they did the ultrasound. That's when I started feeling like he wasn't doing so well, you guys. And then he just, they called, they were like, it's not cancer. But he's in a grave situation. We think it's Cushing's disease, which essentially works against diabetes. So, like, to treat it, you have to, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to talk about this yet because I don't know enough about it. I haven't spoken to people about it, and I also haven't done the research about it because he's since passed. But they suspected that he had Cushing's disease. And, that prognosis isn't good. And then, we had a treatment plan in place that if that is the case, so we were going to test for it in the morning. And he passed away that night, you guys. For me, it was, if anyone's been through this, it's when that inner eyelid starts to close that you just know, like, please hang on if you can. But if not, I could just see he's in pain. You know, I was just like, if not, you can go because you're going straight to heaven. And also, you were the best ever, ever friend. Not just cat. You were the best friend. So you guys, that's what's happened. This morning, my son, by the way, doesn't know anything yet. This morning I was getting ready to take my son to school. And when I have my baby in the car seat and I'm, like getting everyone situated. And my son, he looks beyond the tree and he said, "Mommy, look, it's a rainbow."
I see the rainbow right there, next to this one.
It gave me peace. I'd like to bury him next to the tree where he was yelling at the birds and I blew his cover. Monty, I think the birds are onto you. They can see you. I'm happy he got to go out free the last few weeks, I think that was good for his well-being in general, and just he enjoyed the last bits that he could on Earth, even though he always tried to escape before, which is why he was always on a leash. And he was a master at escaping too. My goodness, that cat. He was something else. He also chased a chipmunk free for the first time. He didn't get it. I don't think he even intended to get it. I think he just wanted the joy of the chase. Like in the wild, Those are literally his last days. He also, he had just such a great life, you guys. 13 years. 13 years. 13 years of a great, great life. Monty would have gone berserk for this. Look at that. Look at... Oh my gosh, you curious kitties. What, is this Monty sending a grasshopper now so that you guys can play and train on fun? This is fun training. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Where'd it go? There it is, Junior. What did Monty teach you? What did Monty teach you? Boop. All right, guys, let's let him go. Come on. It's all right, little guy. Here, we're gonna let him go. Have a good life. Go, jump, go. There's that butterfly. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the butterfly. I know that, he would have wanted everyone to know, because I know everyone's pause in right now, pause circle, praying for Monty. You guys, you saw Monty grow up with me. You've been part of his journey. You've been part of his story. You've been so supportive. And he's been so blessed to have not just us, but every single one of you in his life. I'm sorry, I know I'm probably making every one of you cry. I tried waiting to film this so that I can hold in my tears, because I was like, I don't think I can cry anymore, but you know how it is when you love something so dearly.
He looked like he was improving as far as his kidneys were concerned. His kidney values looked like they were the best they had been to this point. But he himself, Monty, just still didn't look like much of anything. I didn't get the impression he wanted to eat anything for us. He was still our hope was that as his blood sugar and his kidneys improved, that he would improve, that he would start feeling better. And yet, those two things didn't seem to be going hand in hand the way we wanted them to. So we ultrasounded him. This is also on the 18th, looking to see if there was a bigger problem, looking to see if he had cancer. We found what looks like bilateral adrenal gland enlargement. So cats have an adrenal gland just like we do. It serves the same purpose. It produces adrenaline when something happens. It also produces something called cortisol, which we use to help regulate our blood pressure and do a few other things. In dogs, there's a condition called Cushing's. And I think you may have had a conversation with somebody, you or Mr. had a conversation with somebody about Cushing's disease and what that is. It's basically an endocrine disease of the cat, kind of like diabetes, except instead of not producing insulin, these guys are producing too much cortisol. And the reason that's especially relevant to us is that cortisol really interferes with insulin. It's probably a big part of the reason why we couldn't get his insulin regulated. So I've got him now with something that looks like a pituitary tumor. And that is probably a big part of the reason why we weren't making as much progress as we wanted to. Your pituitary gland lives in your brain, and it controls things like your adrenal gland and several other hormone depots of your body. Pituitary tumors are not very common in the cat, but usually we discover them with things like this. Cats who are diabetics and it seems like it's going well and suddenly it's not. Suddenly we cannot get them to respond to insulin like we want. And it's because they're producing a lot of other hormones that are interfering with the insulin. Is that the whole picture? There may be something else in play here. I mean, we are still suspicious because he had a very high white count, that there was an infection present, probably at the level of his kidney.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as I can tell, he clinically just never perked up, even when you guys came to visit with him.
Yeah.
And then overnight, he just deteriorated to the point where it looks like he was dead between one bed check and the next. My suspicion is that he probably had a brain tumor at the level of his pituitary gland. So I've got enough signs here, based on what Monty was doing, that makes sense to me. He was a diabetic who was not responding to insulin, and he was deteriorating despite all the things we were doing for him that should have been preventing that.
Yeah.
And also your brain tumors, your brain is one of those things we can't test easily. I mean, other than putting him in an MRI machine, it's hard to find out what's going on with your brain.
Right. Yeah, so it wouldn't have shown up on the ultrasound when they did it.
Correct. The ultrasound was showing us the effects of it, but it couldn't show us the pituitary because it's trapped inside the skull.
Is it normal that with a pituitary tumor that would happen, that you just die in your sleep?
Because the aggressive ones can do almost anything they want.
Yeah.
They can do that in your sleep. They can make you have a seizure or a stroke. If they affect other organs of the body, then you can do whatever it is, whatever organ that is. You can have a clot in your lungs or a clot in your liver.
Mm-hmm.
In my friend's case, he probably did have a clot in his brain, and it just took him out.
Oh, all right. Well, doctor, you've answered, a lot for us. It's helpful that we have closure, and I want to thank you for that call so that you can provide that to us. And we'll always remember you guys favorably for having cared for him.
Good boy. Digging. Are you a digger?